Hello, I'm Johnny Rowland, your host of our shooting show, and I tell you what, friends, it is a terrific day here a couple of days before Thanksgiving. We really, as we're taping this, we hope that everyone will have a great Thanksgiving this week. We do have so much to be thankful for in this great country of ours. You know, a lot of things that we have, many times we've taken for granted. And unfortunately, we have a lot of folks out there, a lot of hunters, a lot of shotgun owners, that take our rights as citizen gun owners for granted, and they have not stood with the rest of us who are fighting so hard to keep our gun rights in this country. Because let me tell you what, friends, if we don't stand up, and I keep saying this week after week, I've been saying this the whole time we've been on the air, if we don't stand up now for our gun rights, you don't have to worry. We won't have shotguns, we won't have single action handguns, we won't have anything left that goes bang in the civilian population. You know what? Every country that has disarmed its citizens has at some point lived to regret it. And just like the British in World War II, they ran ads over here in the United States asking American sportsmen, asking American gun owners to send whatever they possibly could. We've got an airplane up there that's circling around. Well, that's great. Why don't you go home until we finish our taping anyway? Anyway, they ran ads in the United States papers asking for whatever we could possibly send to England, because Winston Churchill said, look, we're going to fight to the last person who can hold up a gun. We're going to fight to the last person to retain our freedom as British citizens. That's what they said. And at one point, it looked like Hitler was going to invade Great Britain. It really did look like it at one point. And they were scared to death. But you know what? Right after World War II, same thing happened. They said, well, you know, there won't be any more wars, and we need to take those guns away from our civilian population. Well, you know what, friends? If somebody can vote and decide who's going to lead them, aren't they responsible enough to have protection, have security in their own homes? Think about it. I was talking to our good friend Curtis Shipley with Georgia Arms earlier today, and we were talking about something called negative knowledge. And you know, right now in the major media, so many of the news broadcasters and television programming, they're putting out negative knowledge about firearms. Now, negative knowledge is something that's flatly not true. You know, a lot of younger people have negative knowledge because a lot of what they think they know is flatly not true. And this is what's happening to us on the front about firearms in the popular media, the major media, in so many of the government edicts. Of course, the United States government, the Justice Department stand is that we as citizens do not have a right to own personal firearms. Now realize, some people say, well, the National Guard, the Second Amendment's about the National Guard. That's flatly not true. There wasn't a National Guard at the time the Constitution was written. It didn't exist. And did you know that the National Guard, the Guard units, or state militias were just federalized under Franklin Roosevelt? That was in the 1930s. So before that, they were a state or local organization. Now they're a federal organization. There is nothing in the Constitution that refers to the National Guard as being the militia or the National Guard having anything to do with personal gun rights. You know, friends, I was listening to Ken Hamlin interviewing Marion Hammer from the NRA, and also he had on this gentleman named Sugarman from an anti-gun organization. And Ken started his program. He says, you know, talking to Sugarman, he said, you know, I'm not going to change the way you think. You're not going to change the way I think. That is the problem. We as conservatives are reasonable about things most of the time. The anti-gun liberals are not reasonable when it comes to guns. I don't understand that, but I can't understand it because I like to think I'm a reasonable person. But they're not. The only way they can be dealt with is to be defeated. That's how they're dealt with. They have to be defeated. They cannot be reasoned with. They cannot be compromised with. You know, what would happen? We had this on the program on the radio show this past Sunday. said, what if we said, we as gun owners said, okay, well, we'll let this Brady Bill shenanigan, we'll let that slide, we'll let all this other gun regulation slide, if we can enact laws saying no more gun legislation will ever be enacted. Well, what do you think the anti-gun types will say? They say, oh, no, because their goal, their ideal is to have the American population totally disarmed, totally at the mercy of the police, of the criminal, for that matter, because criminals going to always have guns. See, they can buy them from police officers that are dishonest. See, they're criminal police, and they can always, the criminal element can always find guns. But what about us as law-abiding citizens? And I tell you what, friends, I was telling somebody earlier today, the way it's going now, we're losing this battle. However, there are signs that more of our people are beginning to wake up. Maybe. I hope so. That's what we're doing here on the air today. If you can help us stay on the air, if you can help us, if you care about these issues, if you care about what we're doing here, talking in reasonable terms about what guns are for, how they're properly handled, if you can help the shooting show stay on the air, please send whatever you can to the shooting show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Dubberly, Louisiana. That zip code is 71024. Our phone number, area 318-377-5189. If you can help sponsor our program, if you can join, if you can't buy a full sponsor spot, okay, join our support group. Whatever you have, we'll try and work something out with you, because, friends, this is a battle that is not going away. And we are Gun TV. Some of the other hunting programs, some of the other things, most of them cannot talk about gun rights. They can't criticize what the government has done to us and what they're planning to do to us. You know, we got taken off a network about a year and a half ago because we wouldn't shut up about what the government is doing. We wouldn't shut up about what the anti-gun people are doing. Well, friends, it's up to you and I and all of us here that we continue to get this message out on television. If you can help us, please do. Well, let's open today's program. We're going to have a little piece on home defense, actually. And this is the Mossberg 590 with an extended standard 590 magazine. And these guns are very reliable. This is, in fact, the U.S. military shotgun. And they're still available. We can still own them for now. Well, let's begin today's program with our 590 Mossberg and some birdshot. Let's do it. Got a little wet there. And since we're here just for fun, well, friends, we have a new demonstration we're going to do today, thanks to, actually my brother-in-law had some building materials left over here. We have some sheetrock out here that we're going to run some penetration tests on. And our point in this, a lot of us use guns for home defense. That's what a lot of us own them for. And let's, in fact, see what a lot of commonly encountered firearm projectiles will do. I believe we have 6 layers of sheetrock here. And who knows what kind of mess it's going to make, but I can clean it up. Let's just see what happens. Let's take a look now at what we're going to shoot the layers of sheetrock with. Now, friends, we're going to look at a 45 ACP and a solid, like hardball, in this case a semi-wad cutter solid, versus a 45 ACP hollow point, a 38 special jacketed hollow point versus a 357 Magnum full velocity hollow point, a 22 long rifle solid versus the 22 hollow point, a 44 special cartridge versus a full charge 44 Magnum, and a 223 soft nose versus a 223 full metal jacket, some double-aught buckshot 12 gauge shotgun shell there, versus birdshot, which I think we'll see some surprising results with, versus a 12 gauge slug. So we're going to look at these tests on the sheetrock as compared to several walls in a home, and let's just see how they perform. Friends, what we're going to use the government model in 1911. For the 45, we're going to use a Ruger 22 pistol here, the 22-45 pistol for our 22 comparison. We have a Smith & Wesson 686 plus, and let's be sure we got our 38 special up there first. That's our first, here we go, our 38 versus 357 comparison. We've got our Super Blackhawk here for our 44 special versus the 44 Magnum. We've got our Mossberg we're going to shoot the shotgun piece there with, and we have our AR-15. We're going to try I believe we have the full metal jacket bullet first and then the soft nose. So we're going to get a straight on shot. We're not going to go at an angle. We want a straight on shot, and we'll use the heavier calibers for later. And what we're going to do, we'll shoot both combinations of cartridge, and we'll mark them so we'll know where they are, and then we'll look at penetration in just a moment. So let's see, we had the 44 or 45 first that we showed, so let's do that now. We'll use the hollow point bullet first, then we'll come back with the semi-wad cutter solid. And heck, I hadn't done this before either. Let's see what it looks like. Hollow point first. This is a 185 grain jacketed hollow point running about 1,050 feet per second. Let's see what it does. Okay. That ought to be interesting. I did see it smoke there. Now let's shoot close to it the semi-wad cutter solid bullet. Okay. Interesting. Realize with 6 layers of sheetrock, we're approximating 3 walls in a home. Let's see. All right, next, let's go ahead and shoot our 22 next. And we have the hollow point first. See what happens. All right, and immediately to the left of it, let's shoot the solid point. Okay, let's mark them. Let's try the 357 and the 38 special. That was the 38 special. Now let's go with a full charge 357. All right, let's mark it. got a little dust here. Okay, who's next? Let's try our 44 Magnum. In fact, we're going to shoot the first one with the 44 Special, 180 grain jacketed hollow point. Then we'll come with a full charge 44 Magnum. Let's see what happens. .44 Special. Yeah, they hit a little different. Okay. All right, let's try our AR-15. Full metal jacket bullet first. All right, now let's try our 223 soft point. All right, let's go ahead and unload this. Because it had loaded itself. Let's mark them. Getting a little dusty. Can't imagine why. Okay, let's use bird shot now in the 12 gauge shotgun. See what happens. Okay, you can see the, let me back up a little bit, let the dust settle. Now that was bird shot, which we'll look at in just a second. Now let's come with double-aught buckshot, which some people actually have for home defense. Shoot over here on the left there. Double-aught buckshot. And let's go with a 12 gauge slug. Woo! All right.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. You know, friends, all of us as shooting enthusiasts should be subscribing to Shotgun News, the trading post for anything that shoots. 3 big issues monthly with literally thousands and thousands of firearms bargains. Give them a call, 1-800-345-6923, a very inexpensive subscription price. Again, 1-800-345-6923. Subscribe today.
My friends, here it is, the great Georgia Arms ammunition. Notice these ballistic tip nozzler bullets in this Georgia Arms ammunition. You see, this is equivalent to a box of 20 for only $7.95. Now, friends, that is a terrific price for essentially custom-loaded ammunition. Of course, for the plain full metal jacket, it is much less expensive. Here's another tremendous bag of Georgia Arms ammunition, 7mm Remington Magnum, 20 rounds, only $17.95, loaded with these premium Nosler ballistic tips. I tell you, this is custom ammunition at a discount price. Hey, what, friends, the good people at Georgia Arms do understand what's going on in this country. They understand how important our gun rights are, and they're supporting us on this project. The good news is you can get absolutely superior ammunition at discount prices, whether you have a handgun or a rifle. If you want to take that big hunt, you can afford to practice with your rifle as well as use that same ammunition on the hunt because they are so reasonably priced. These are some of the nicest people we have ever met in this business, bar none, and they're down in beautiful Villa Rica, Georgia. So please, friends, if you would, you can get a free catalog with a free phone call. That's as good as the deal gets. A free catalog, free phone call, 1-800-624-6861. Again, Georgia Arms, 1-800-624-6861. And please tell them you saw it here on our shooting show. Okay, friends, now you can see here we started off with the 22. See each hole for there's one for 38, 357, the 22 solid above the 2 there, and a hollow point above the H above the hole there. The 45, the jacket hollow point on the right, the solid on the left, 44 special there, 44 Magnum. Now then, here we have birdshot. Here we have the 223. Soft point and full metal jacket, and here we have buckshot. See now the large hole you see for buckshot is the wad behind it. That's the piece of plastic there behind it. Notice that it's moving at such a velocity it punched a hole right through the sheetrock. Let's see, we have 3, 2, 5, 3, 8, 9. That's about 9 of the double-aught buck, and the slug is the same thing. We have the wad, apparently it has 2 in there going through, and one of these holes is a slug and the other 2 are wads from the cartridge. So let's go around back and see what they look like. My friends, looking here, of course, we had 6 layers of sheetrock equivalent to roughly 3 walls in a lot of homes around the country. And let's just see what happened. Now, we've already marked the exit holes, and I think you'll find this interesting. We started off with the 45, I believe, and oddly enough, the 45 hollow point and the semi-wad cutter zipped right on through both of them. In fact, you can't tell much difference. Of course, we didn't expect a lot of expansion. The 45 hollow point that we're using today might have even plugged up, but they went through all 6 layers and kept right on going. And then we have the 22. Now the 22 hollow point there on your left was certainly made a bigger hole than the solid. The solid zipped right on through. Let's look next at the 38 special right here, and then the versus the 357. It was pretty dramatic coming on through there. And then we have our 44 special made a pretty good hole, but look what the 44 Magnum did. That's pretty dramatic. Now then, let's go over to the 223 full metal jacket. See, it just punched a little hole and just kept right on going. Now the soft point really started to expand and made a pretty dramatic expansion here. And let's look at our buckshot. Yeah, it made a pretty large hole through all 6, and just pellets kept on going. Then we have slugs. Our slug, of course, it just is a really devastating projectile. Looks like 6 layers of sheetrock didn't slow it down much. But let's look over here for the birdshot. Well, guess what, friends? The reason you don't see a birdshot hole there is because there's not one. All right, let's go around front and look. Now, friends, looking at our birdshot pattern, you'll notice that we shot it from what, about 15 feet, something like that, from a cylinder bore shotgun. Have a lot of little bitty holes, and of course it did have up in the center part there, and the wad it went on through. Well, let's see what happened with the birdshot. Here we go. Let's reach out here, and well, we went through, see the back of this here. Here we go. See if we get a better shot of it. See, it made a pretty nice pulverized hole there. Certainly did some pretty severe damage, and went on to the next layer of sheetrock here, and hit that pretty hard, obviously. Let's go to the third. We're still getting some penetration through. It went through one wall. Those pellets are still moving. Let's go to the next layer.
Now then, we just had, well, guess what? Not too much at all. We had some, let's see, here we go, right here. We had some look like penetration. All right, 4 of these will be equal to 2 walls. And let's see. Well, that was it. That wound it up. It went through 2 walls. It did not go through the 3rd wall. No, it sure didn't. It did not go through 3rd wall here. So friends, you can see from everything that we used, which a lot of us, myself included, use for home defense inside the home. If you're worried about shooting through walls or anything else, your best choice, and also very, very effective up close and personal as in a defensive use, would be head and shoulders. Birdshot would be ahead of everything. Friends, every gun out here is one of the very best of its type. Certainly the Super Black Hawk, this Smith & Wesson 357, our Shooting Show Custom 45, of course, our Ruger 22. All these are very, certainly this AR-15 is one of the very best guns of its type. No question about that. Guess what? You can buy a repeating shotgun for less money than any of these. And also, it has the most potential as far as a defensive weapon. You know, in World War I, the German army petitioned the what do you call it, the war rules, the Geneva Convention. They petitioned the Geneva Convention against the Americans using this terrible, terrible weapon in the trenches in World War I. Guess what it was? It was a pump shotgun with buckshot. And because it was so devastating in the up close and personal ranges. So the good news is, hey, you don't have to fill out a Brady bill. You know, actually, for those shotgun shooters out there that think their guns are immune, trust me, they're not, because as soon as the anti-gun people figure out what the really super effective and versatile weapons are, they're going to come after shotguns, because they're more, actually, it's the deadliest firearm that we have access to, more so than a machine gun, because every time you shoot a load of buckshot, that's a double-aught buck is about like 9 or 10 30 carbines going off at one time. It is, in fact, a very, very serious, the shotgun is the ultimate home defense or about do anything system. And honestly, you can still get them. And oddly enough, the most versatile performer, the one that is, in fact, the most effective as far as a defensive use. Now, it's true, you can't go around corners. It's hard to hold a flashlight in one hand, but it can be done. But the handguns definitely have their place. But the shotguns are still out there. And honestly, with birdshot, if you live in a mobile home or an apartment complex, you darn sure ought to consider a shotgun 12 or 20 gauge or some of the other gauges. I prefer 12 or 20 for most applications because you can get shells almost anywhere. But if you're concerned about defense or home defense, and you live in either one of those type dwellings, or if in a single or a static dwelling or a single household out away from everything else, if you have children or loved ones in another part of your home that you might be concerned about, if you had to use your gun, say somebody broke in your bedroom at 2 o'clock in the morning, as happened to a friend of mine a while back, birdshot is really by far the best initial combination. Now, when you're outside, a police officer is outside shooting at an automobile, no, birdshot has no place in that. But in home defense, birdshot is by far, as we can see from our little experiment here, the best combination for a lot of purposes.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station.
Friends, you know I'm always on a diet trying to cut down on some of this excess weight, and I really made some progress. I took pyruvate for, well, a couple of months there, but I ran out, and our good friends at the American Freedom Network are now marketing a pyruvate plus MSM. Now this is in addition to nutritional sulfur. And some of our folks had, pyruvate doesn't have any side effects. Some folks said they had a little problem with the regularity there or whatever else. Well, this takes care of it. This is pyruvate plus MSM. Also, another wonderful product they have is Healthy Nature Mineral Wealth. Now, these are colloidal minerals, and in each ounce of this, which would be like a tablespoon, there are 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C. So this is tremendous stuff. And honestly, I've taken colloidal minerals. Some of them taste pretty good. Some of them didn't taste too good at all. And this tastes pretty good. Trust me on this one. But those of you who are health conscious know about the value of colloidal minerals. Very important in the liquid form. The American Freedom Network, our good friends who carry our radio show on Sunday, they're some of the nicest people going. They've done us a lot of favors, and we're going to do them one by making this available. This is through the American Freedom Network. The Healthy Nature Pyruvate plus MSM, that a great source of nutritional sulfur, along with the Healthy Nature Mineral Wealth here, which is a dietary liquid mineral, colloidal minerals in other words. Okay, one of the problems we had with our original pyruvate, it was a little expensive for some of us, and myself included, but you can get a 3-month supply of pyruvate plus MSM for $99. That includes shipping and handling. $99 for a 3-month supply. You get 3 bottles of this stuff, and those of you that tried it know it is really terrific stuff. It is supposed to be a stronger antioxidant than grapeseed extract. And you know, grapeseed extract is supposed to be 50 times stronger than vitamin E, 20 or 30 times stronger than vitamin C. So this is wonderful stuff. Also, the Mineral Wealth colloidal minerals here is it's $19.95 per bottle, which is a real good price. If you've been down to your health food store and you check the prices on this stuff or something similar, and this incidentally is not made from ground up dirt, it's all from colloidal plant minerals, all from plants, which should be easier on your system. Anyway, you can get a 12-bottle case for $199.95, 12 bottles of this, which should last a long time. Anyway, plus shipping and handling. So here's what you can do. You can call the American Freedom Network, and I tell you what, friends, I got this stuff a few days ago, and honestly, within hours of when I took this pyruvate, I felt a surge of energy. And for yours truly here on this project, that is very important. So pyruvate to me is a big deal, and I darn sure don't want to be without it. And plus, I'm going to get rid of the rest of this table muscle I got here. Trust me, I'm going to keep on until I get rid of it. So anyway, you can call the American Freedom Network. Their number is, free phone call, 1-800-205-6245. Again, 1-800-205-6245 for the American Freedom Network, for pyruvate plus MSM, and also for the Healthy Nature colloidal minerals. A tremendous combination, and one that I highly recommend. If you want to feel better, you want to have more energy, you want to have better health, this will be certainly a way to help you do it, and plus get rid of those unwanted pounds like me and a lot of us. Okay, again, 1-800-205-6245.
Friends, we're looking here at the shot stop target system. These are the resetting targets. You shoot one, another one pops up. They have them in a wide variety of caliber selections available for your particular handgun. This will be a tremendous Christmas gift, and if you call them and tell them that you saw it on our program, they will give you a discount, certainly for our shooting show audience. Give them a call today, 1-800-444-2038. Again, 1-800-444-2038. for the shot stop target systems. They also offer a number of other targets that are available, so get one of their free catalogs. Please give them a call, and please tell them you saw it here on our program.
Well, friends, I tell you, it's a real neat afternoon out here. We're going to try and get this segment of the program before the rain starts. This time of year, pretty afternoons are a little scarcer than in some others, believe me, but it's certainly a good day to be out shooting. Remember our phrase here, guns save lives. Ought to remember that. In fact, well, even write that on our envelopes when we're mailing things to our friends. Remember, guns save lives, to try and counteract some of this ridiculous garbage that the anti-gun people are coming with. Okay, we have a really neat handgun to look at today. This is the Kimber Classic Custom actually. And this is from Kimber in Yonkers, New York, USA is what it says. And friends, this may look like a standard 1911, but believe me, it is not. It is your entry-level Kimber, but there's nothing standard about this gun as compared to your regular government or Army issue 1911. Honestly, we've had this gun here for several days, and in fact, ordered it for a friend, and I said, well, hey, if you don't mind, just let me keep it for a few days and run a test on our program. Friends, I tell you, this is one of the nicest 1911s, and the fitting and finish is so good on this gun. It is really remarkable. Now, it has all the amenities that we're used to. It has a really good set. It has a front sight that is dovetailed into the slide there. It has a slick rear sight, something that certainly looks real good. It has the ring type hammer, or a hammer that we're used to. The high beaver tail grip safety has looks like a McCormick trigger, which is a plastic, very lightweight trigger portion. And realize, friends, when you see a plastic trigger or something that appears to be plastic on these guns, realize that's just the pad. When you get back in the frame there, those are metal rails that run back to release the sear there, release the hammer. But plastic does just fine as far as a trigger pad. There's nothing wrong with that. You have the serrations on the rear, certainly cocking serrations, but you also have them on the front, which a lot of us have really come to appreciate. This gun has a full-length guide rod for the recoil spring, and honestly, this is the first one I've really seen and looked at up close and had a chance to fool with, but it is a very, very nice package. We did change the grip to a hoe grip, which is a little different than the standard grip. Of course, that's easily done. But it is really, it's one of the nicest box stock 1911s that I've ever seen. Now then, let me show you something. Let me shake the gun, and we know this gun is unloaded. Remember, we check them 3 times, and I had already checked it before we started the camera. But anyway, we do that religiously. We check to be sure it's empty. But listen. Didn't hear anything, did you? All right, let's take my old gun, my Springfield Armory, our shooting show gun here. We know it's empty. We know it is. And this is more like your standard issue 1911. And listen, I think you can probably hear that. Most 1911s, especially your service grade 1911s, they all rattle because they have tolerances that help them work in real adverse conditions. Now, this Kimber does not rattle at all. I mean, nothing. And although it has proved to be very reliable, we've shot this gun some, and for different type of bullet profile tests and all, and it has functioned really, really well. Now then, let me rephrase something here. I've said a while back that all semi-automatics will malfunction. Okay, that's still true. All mechanical devices not can, but they all will malfunction at one time or another, even this Ruger Blackhawk, every last one of them. However, I really like the semi-automatics that show a reliable character or a reliable characteristic, and this one really has. It has been very reliable so far, and we've shot it with a number of different types of ammunition. In fact, let's go ahead and take a closer look at it and just show it to you and show you some of the neat features it has on it. Let's do that right now. I see, friends, we have an extended thumb safety. Let's go ahead and check it. We know this gun is empty. We know it is. But you'll notice the wide and very nicely done serrations here on the rear and the front of the slide. You see, here's the dovetail front sight, so it won't come out. Simple thing. All Colt front sights on the standard staked-in variety, they all come out or get loose if you shoot them, and this dovetail type does not come out. Simple things. Wish Colt would pay attention on that. Okay, here we have the very slick, very nice rear sight here, sort of a similar to a Novak, not quite the same thing. but you'll notice the relief here to keep the empties from being dented when they're ejected from the gun. This little cutout right here, very, very nicely done. This is the McCormick trigger. Like I said, just this part up here is plastic. You get back here, the rails that actually push back on the sear are made of metal. But the ring type hammer, also a very nice, very comfortable beaver tail, high upswept grip safety, very important. And notice it pokes out a little bit here at the bottom, so you'll be sure, and with a decent grip, any kind of reasonable grip, you will push the grip safety off. Remember, these guns cannot fire until the hammer can't fall until that grip safety is depressed, see, which is a good feature on a single action gun like this. Very, very nice machining. The surfaces are so well done. They took, honestly friends, this is a real bargain. This gun is going to retail for probably $695, around $700 retail, and for the custom level gun it is, believe it or not, I'm going to call this a real bargain for the other 1911s I've seen on the market, the way this gun functions and handles so far. Very nicely done. Again, remember this, here we go, let's shake it. No noise at all. See there? I'm impressed. Now, friends, I want to show you something. Let's go ahead and take this gun down. Take the magazine out, and of course you can't overcheck them. You can't check them too many times, but it comes with a bushing wrench because it just makes it easier. We're going to go ahead and move our barrel bushing over to the side there and capture our spring plug here, and with the gun on, here we go, bring it back to right where you're supposed to, a little cutout groove here. Let's take it down. Alright, now this is something that I think is important. I have never seen a 1911 so nicely machined right in this area here. This is really remarkable. And of course we got a little fluid film on there. Fluid film will slick about anything up. It's so nice. But anyway, the machining surfaces here are so nicely done. Now to take the gun down, you will go ahead and take the recoil spring off the guide rod here, and it will slip out the back, and bring our bushing around like so, and just slide out the barrel. The barrel looks like it's stainless steel. I don't know. Your guess good as mine. But I tell you what, just looking at the way the gun is machined, it is really exceptional. This is one of the nicest 1911s, especially for the money. One of the nicest ones. Well, let's put it back together like so. Get our barrel bushing back here. Okay, we'll put our guide rod in like so. Now we'll put our spring down on the guide rod. There we go. Standard for taking down and notice also, typically on a lot of 1911s, if you shoot them a lot, the frame will crack right here in the slide rail, and they just went ahead and cut that out. Now Colt has been doing this in recent years, some of the others haven't, but that's a good idea. Just go ahead and take it out so it can't crack. We'll put the gun back like so. Be sure everything's in proper order. Bring it back here. Here we go. Bring it on back a little bit further. Bring the slide back to just a little dimple there. Now then, apply our safety. Put our plug on here, and always wear safety glasses when you take down any one of these guns, a semi-automatic or whatever kind. This is where your barrel, your bushing wrench that they send with the gun, comes in the box, will come in handy, because it lets you push down on the plug assembly there to get the barrel bushing back up where it's supposed to be. Like I said, very tight. And another way you can check on a 1911, which is an indication of how accurate it may be, you can press down on the barrel right here. Just in the ejection port here, you can press down, and it's a symbol or a signal, a sign of tight lockup if you can't move the barrel. And on this gun, you can't move it at all, which says good fitting and tight lockup. On my Springfield Armory here, and we know it's empty. Got a little slack there. You can feel it. Got a little bit of slack. Of course, this gun will shoot into 3.5, 4 inches at 25 yards, which is about as good as most of them will do, most 1911s. So let's in fact check the Kimber 1911 for accuracy.
Stay tuned for more of the Shootin' Show after these important messages.
The Shootin' Show will be right back after this break for your local cable company or TV station. Now friends, here it is. This is the great 1919 Browning converted to semi-automatic from the good people at NWI. This is your chance to own a real piece of history. They're very collectible. They're also a lot of fun to own and shoot, and very reasonably priced, certainly for what you get. The 1919 Browning is from NWI. That phone number, area 503-429-5001. They also have the ammunition special still going on. 30-06 ammunition, only 18 cents a round, surplus in the belt. So give them a call today, NWI, for the great 1919 Browning conversion. Also remember, they have the A6 conversion with the shoulder stock and the bipod. But these are tremendous pieces of history, also great shooters. So give them a call today, the 1919 Browning from NWI, area 503-429-5001. And hold the phone, stop the presses, friends. They now are making the 50 Browning available, and just picture the gun you're looking at here, just about twice as big with that gigantic 50 Browning cartridge. Trust me on this one, friends, these guns will not be available forever. If Clintonians have their way, they'd sure like to take them away right now. But you still can get them, and realize for every gun that NWI sells on our program, they will donate an extra $300 toward keeping us on the air. So if you're interested in the 1919 Brownings, the A4 or A6, or the new 50 Browning semi-automatic conversion, give them a call, area 503-429-5001. Okay, friends, let's go ahead and try our Kimber for accuracy. We have our target out here at 25 yards, and heck, let's just see what it'll do. We're going to shoot several groups. We have a variety of ammunition types here. We have some 230 grain jacketed hollow points. We have some 185 grain 45 ACP ammunition with a couple of different powders that we're going to be trying. So heck, let's just, in fact, see what it's going to do. This little Sure Sight rest is a very neat little contraption here, and anytime you're shooting a 45, you want to have a firm foundation for the base here. I'm using a sandbag today, and plus put your frame. Don't let anything that's going to move on your target pedestal there. Have your frame on it, and these are really neat little contraptions. Okay, let's get ready and let's shoot with it. Yes, indeed. And it's important to take your time when you're shooting groups and calm down and let your breathing be calm when you're about to pull that trigger, because the least little thing, of course, will throw your aim off. So you want to be very calm when you're shooting for group size. Now, we're not going to adjust. We have some windage elevation in the rear sight. We're not going to do that today, though, because one, it's not our gun, and after I'm going to give it to the owner once we get through
taping with it here, so I'm not going to fool with the sight. But we're going to aim at the same spot on the target each time, and let's see where how large the group is. Like I said, it should be pretty good because tolerances are so tight with this gun. Yes, indeed. And bear in mind, friends, that sometimes a semi-automatic shooting from the bench rest, and don't be nervous here because right now there's no one standing behind that camera. You're looking over here pretty close, not quite down the barrel of the gun, but we have a remote camera set up, so no one's standing back over there. Anyway, when you're shooting off bench rest, you may have a malfunction with a semi-automatic that you wouldn't have under a normal grip situation, so don't let that bother you if you do have a malfunction on the bench like this, because we don't have the same grip and the same situation that we would have just in normal shooting of the gun. Okay, we're going to go ahead and finish this group. We're going to shoot a couple of more, and when we get through, we'll take a look at our groups.
Well, friends, we're going to have to come back to our Kimber on the next program. I will give you a hint here. It showed phenomenal accuracy for a 1911. That's probably the most accurate out-of-the-box 1911, and it'll be real interesting to see on the next program. We'll come back and show our groups. We've run out of time on today's show to do that, but just with the change of gunpowder behind the same bullet, I think you'll be real interested to see that. That'll be on next week, hopefully. We certainly want to thank you for being with us on today's program. We hope that everyone had a good Thanksgiving. We as Americans have so much to be thankful for. I was talking with our editor a little bit earlier about the country is in such a mess. We have such a lack of leadership at the top. In fact, we have detrimental leadership at the very top, yet the country continues to run. It just goes to show the strength of our system, I think, to some degree, because the country continues to run in spite of all the ignorant things that government does. We want to mention some of the folks in our shooting show support group that are very important to us, and we appreciate their support so much. Our good friends Custom Leatherwork and Saddlery, all kinds of repairs on leather, attack, saddles, holsters, whatever you might need, special repairs on shoes and things you might not be able to get done everywhere. You can give them a call, area 504-667-9225. Again, 504-667-9225. Our friend James Calhoun, Bullets up in Montana there, he has super quality 22 and 17 caliber. These are bullets for centerfire rifle, not loaded ammunition, but bullets that are super quality. If you're interested in some of his bullet selection there, give him a call, area 406-395-4079. Again, 406-395-4079. Our friend Dennis Crocker in South Carolina, he is a firearms trainer. He is authorized to go throughout South Carolina and train people in the proper use of firearms. Dennis is certainly a good friend. His number is area 864-587-8722. Again, 864-587-8722. And, of course, Clark Custom Guns, our good friends here that they've been such a help to us. Friends, any sort of work on your 1911 or on your Ruger 1022 rifle or your Ruger bolt-action 22 caliber rifle or on your Smith & Wesson or Ruger revolver, give Clark Custom Guns a call, area 318-949-9884. Again, 318-949-9884. And last but not least, our good friends at Advantage Outlet, they have discount prices on Spyderco and Cold Steel knives. Certainly want to mention them. Their number is 1-800-561-1719. Again, 1-800-561-1719. And something that is so important, our fluid film, friends, this is the greatest penetrating oil, the greatest lubricant that we have ever come across. The best thing. I'm hearing from gunsmiths now. I'm hearing from those of you that already have this stuff. They're using it on bicycle chains, on leather, on the hinges on their car. You know, we use it on our guns and all kinds of things. It is better than anything we've ever seen. It will function in temperatures 50 below zero, also up to hundreds of degrees. It is terrific stuff. It will protect your gun like nothing we've ever seen. You can order 2 bottles from us, 2 of the large cans 11 3/4 ounce cans for only $19.95. Send it to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Duberly, Louisiana. That zip code 71024. $19.95. That covers shipping and handling, friends. It is it's in a class by itself. Trust me on this one, a class by itself. And send us that $19.95. We'll get it right out to you, friends. We are struggling to stay on the air. That's why we're doing the other things. Just like our fluid film, tremendous product it is. You'll thank us for that. But we appreciate the support group. We appreciate our sponsors. Please remember our sponsors. I want to tell you, NWI has a very limited number of 50 caliber, 50 Browning machine guns converted to semi-automatic, and you may want to think about that. Of course, Christmas coming up. It's time to call some of these folks if you want some of these things for Christmas. If you can help us stay on the air, that's what this is about, friends, is getting our message out to people all over this country. If you can help us stay on the air, please send whatever you can to the Shooting Show, 327 Irvin Rowland Road in Duberly, Louisiana. The zip code again, 71024. If you can help sponsor our program, give us a call, area 318-377-5189. Friends, this is too important to let go. We feel like we have to keep broadcasting on television to reach as many people as possible. If it's important to you, the bad news is most of the people watching this program will not contribute anything. But those of you who can, who will, please, we need your help. Please, if you can. Remember our radio show on the American Freedom Network on GE1, Channel 7, 5.8 audio. And please remember our gospel show on Sunday morning on G4, Channel 14 from 10 to 10:30. You know, friends, the only chance we have as American gun owners is to get more people educated about what our position really is. The only way we can do that is through television in a mass media way, and honestly, we're not going to quit. Please don't quit on us. We've said this before. Please help us if you can. We're trying as hard as we can. Hopefully we'll know something about our network in the next week or two, the people we're talking to. We hope so. Until then, we'll see you on the next show.